Mike Jones Beats.
BBN, Jack Frost, what's up, party people? How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's having a beautiful day. All right, so there's a couple of things that we want to discuss today. I really want to talk about this whole TI situation. More than I want to talk about the King Born situation, I want to talk about the TI situation. I think the TI situation, there's a lot going on over there. I really want to discuss this TI situation. I don't think we had any drops last night. I will check real quick. How's everybody doing this morning? I really do hope everybody's having a beautiful day. Once again, I just want to say something. Shout out to None Realer Than I with the $4.99 drop. Definitely appreciate you, my brother. There's one thing that okay, I didn't. Alright, so there's something that I want to discuss real quick before we actually get into the show, because there's a real big misconception about whether people are good people or not. So if you think that a person is not a good person due to the fact that they ever get angry, they're not being a hypocrite, y'all. You do understand that you have the right to be upset or get angry at things that you should be upset and get angry over. Individuals that's going to want to manipulate you, they're always going to want to make it seem like there's something wrong with you if you get upset or you get angry at something. Do not fall for the shenanigans. Don't fall for it. I don't want to go too far into it, because this is not what this conversation is about. But don't fall for the shenanigans. Just because you get upset or you get angry over something, that does not mean that you're not a good person. Good people get upset and get angry all the time. And if you see somebody get upset or get angry, that doesn't mean that they're not a good person. That's crazy. If you see somebody in their slave, no, I haven't had coffee in a little while. I'm trying to slack off of the coffee for a couple of days. You could tell, right? The withdrawals and shit. So I just wanted to put that out there. Let's do roll call real quick, and then we get right into the show. Hit that like button if y'all don't mind, so we can send out some notifications. Let's do roll call real quick, and then let's get into the show. What up, DSTN? Ain't nobody calling you Dustin. I don't care what your wife says. How you doing this morning, my brother? What up, James S? Who else we got up in here? Eric Mack. I was thinking about making Eric Mack an admin. I don't know. What y'all guys think? What up, The Dean? It was a misunderstanding between us yesterday. It is what it is. I'm happy to see you here today. What up, Deontay Watts? He's back, Lord. He's finally back. Who else we got up in here? What up, Kingslayer? What up, Paul Maurice Gillet? He says, good America. I freaking love you. Thank you. Who else we got up here? What up, Shannon? He said, peace. The business. No coffee today. Who else we got? That's it. All right, let's go. Let's get to the show real quick. For everybody that hasn't heard, 50 Cent specifically, what up, Straight Stacking? What up, Liberty Hazelton? Salute. You already know what it is. For everybody that hasn't heard, 50 Cent specifically, Tighten Up TV. Yeah, what do y'all think? I said, do you think we should make Eric Mack an admin? What do y'all think? What up, Tighten Up TV? All right, James S is gonna co-sign it. Come on, Eric Mack. Almost added him almost kicked him by accident. What up, Lions Den? How you doing, my brother? Also, I am not against, I don't think that I'm 100% right about things. It's just usually I'm trying to choose my own mental health, my own peace over the bullshit. So a lot of times it's not that I think I'm wrong or I think I'm right about something. It's just that if you're wrong or if you're right about something and you're in here just to cause chaos, I just don't want the bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I don't kick somebody because I think they're wrong. I kick them because they're just here to argue, and we can't have any type of, we can't build if we're just arguing with one another. Who else we got up in here? What up, King G? Says good morning, Frost. Got some great news from the state of Pennsylvania. Let me know, King G. What's the great news? How you want to send it? You want to send it this way? You want to send it over to IG? Either which way is fine with me. Alright, so something I want to address real quick before we even get into any of this. What up, DZ? Salute. Shout out to BBN West. I got some lotion on my hands. Shout out to BBN West. What up, DZ? Something I want to say real quick before. Something I want to say real quick before we really get into this, right? Before we really get into this, there's something. King G said, last night Pennsylvania took Sleepy Joe's votes away. He's not the president-elect. Send me a link or something. I don't believe that. Send me a link. Send me something. What up, Ivan? I can't really do it because my head hurt. I'm caffeine depleted. Exactly. Thank you, Ivan. That don't make sense. Why would I want to keep people here that just here to argue? That's not this type of channel. There's tons of channels like that y'all could just go to and yell at each other all day. I don't really care for that. Real quick, I want to say something. Send me a link, King G. My IG is right there. Send me a link. Straight Sack said, I told you December they will announce Trump will be the president. I said it here first. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. With all that being said, real quick, I do want to say this, though. Do you notice how I told y'all they was going to try to be like they still don't fuck with black guys? You see how they pushing black women dumb hard, and if you try to say anything else other than black women, you get attacked? Shout out to the black women, though. I appreciate them. Even if they didn't vote for Biden, I still appreciate you. I appreciate black women just in general. All right, but I don't want to. We're not on that. But we're not on that. We're not on that. All right. So, but even if they give Trump back 2 states, it don't matter. They'd have to give Trump back like 3 or 4 states in order for him to be able to still be the president. Just so we can be clear. Anyway. So. I want to say something real quick. Does anybody else talking about TI? Does anybody else notice that TI, he says things, and then depending on how people accept those things is depending on how much credit how much he's gonna own up to what he said. He does it all the time. He'll say something, and if you like what he says, he's gonna own it. He's gonna be like, I said it, I'm the man. But if you don't like what he says, he's gonna say, oh, but this is what I really meant, or I wasn't talking about that. I think this is what he's talking about. I'm gonna explain why. Could you please tell me another situation that has recently happened in Georgia? There's a ton of people that got shot at. T.I. didn't say nothing about them. When 5-year foreign got shot at, did T.I. come out and say stop shooting, stop coming to our neighborhoods? He didn't say none of that, did he? I'm trying to fix this thing. So. Alright. So when 5-year foreign, T.I. didn't say none of that, did he? Could somebody explain to me this shit? When 5-year foreign, check it. When 5-year foreign Fabio Foreign, when he got shot at in Atlanta, I didn't hear T.I. saying anything. I did not hear T.I. saying, yo, can y'all keep that beef up in New York? I didn't hear none of that shit. Am I wrong? Did anybody else hear T.I. saying anything about that? No, I didn't. But now, when King Von gets killed, now all of a sudden, yo, y'all should keep that stuff in y'all towns. Then when somebody check him over, he's like, that's not what I was talking about. He do that shit all the time. I'm not even hating on him. I'm just saying, he literally do that all the time. Now, shout out to Shooter 93. Shooter 93 called it out dumb hard. For everybody that don't know, T.I. corroborated a snitch's testimony. I'm going to say this again. T.I. corroborated a snitch's testimony. I'm going to say it again. T.I. corroborated a snitch's testimony. Why are we always shooting down Tekashi 6ix9ine, but we also aren't shooting down these other niggas that's doing snitching shit, even though niggas know they snitches? Can somebody explain this to me? I'm not saying we shouldn't be shooting down Tekashi 6ix9ine. What I am saying is, why are we always shooting down Tekashi 6ix9ine for snitching, but all these other dudes that do snitching, people act like they don't exist? Ivan says T.I. talking like half the people that now live in Atlanta ain't from other parts. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a whole fact. The Post, he said, well, hold on. Because, look, check this out. Just so we can be clear on this. I'm not trying to say that T.I. doesn't deserve to have respect from being one of the Atlanta rappers who helped. I'm not even going to say create their sound, because T.I. sounds like he's from New York. T.I. sounds like a New York rapper with a southern accent. Let's just keep it to stack. So I'm not saying help create their sound. I'm not saying that at all. But he did do a lot for Atlanta as far as being an extremely credible MC. That's a fact. Extremely credible rapper. That's a fact. He got hits. That's a fact. Nobody's going to take that away from him. What up, Carmelia? Good morning. That's a fact. Nobody's going to take that away from T.I. But when was the last time T.I. was street? T.I. was hood. I need to know that. And don't tell me when he snatched up all of those guns, because that was definitely not a street hood thing to do, the way he got busted in court. No, I'm going to tell you what was wrong with T.I.'s comments. I'm going to tell you what was wrong with T.I.'s comments, period. Nobody should make those comments if you care about our people. If you care about people, you shouldn't make those comments. You can make a mistake, care about people, and make those comments. I'm not trying to say T.I. doesn't care about people. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying was that comment was still wrong, period. I'm going to explain why. You're not supposed to say kill niggas in other cities. You're supposed to say stop the killing. You're not supposed to say kill niggas in other cities. You're not supposed to say, nah, man, you got to keep all that death and destruction over there where y'all live. You're supposed to be saying, yo, we got to find a better way. What up, New York Silver Stacker? What up, Chocolate Kisses? What up, Gino for show? This ain't working. We got to find a better way. We got to do better as a people. That was a young man that just was taken away from his family and his friends and the people who love him. Yeah, he's done some things in the past, or whatever the case might be, that we believe he's done some things in the past, or whatever the case was. But this tragedy that took his life, like, we can't stand for this. We got to do better than this. Whether that man's life was taken in Atlanta, LA, Chicago, New York, Houston, it's still a tragedy. And that's the angle I believe T.I. was supposed to come from. I could be wrong. But how are you? T.I. just said that he was speaking with advocates the other day. Right? He was like, yo, he got advocates that he speak down there with when they was talking about how he handled the situation with the couple that got thrown out of the the restaurant, right? Y'all gotta pardon me. I have not been drinking coffee. I'm slow right now. You saw what 50 Cent put out. He said, yo, them boys will kill you. That's what 50 Cent told him. Them Chicago boys ain't playing with that young man. That man was their way out for real, for real. And I'm going to tell you personally, as somebody who was surrounded by so many snakes that it stunted my ability to be able to prosper and go. And it stunted my ability to be able to prosper and go. A lot of us want to help people. That's a fact. Shannon says T.I. wants to be first with everything. He needs to learn to shut his mouth and get all the information prior to issuing a statement. He's irresponsible by speaking so soon. I think T.I. is just wrong on a lot of notes, but just period. You can't say keep the violence somewhere else. You have to say stop the violence. But yeah, I agree with you. I don't disagree with you. But I'm saying, but you still have to say stop the violence, not keep the violence in your own city. You're keeping the violence in somebody else's own city. Something's still happening, right? The Dean says, I remember when the OGs in hip-hop called a mass meeting in the 90s to call for all to put down their guns. That's what we need. Okay, so I don't think the biggest problem is the guns. I think the biggest problem is up here. I think the biggest problem is the way in which people are processing information. I think the biggest problem is the way that people are deciding to deal with other people. I think that having the guns creates a new issue. I think that that issue would still be there if the guns did not exist. You get what I'm saying, if that makes sense? If the guns did not exist, the issue would still be there. I think that's the problem. I think we have to learn how to live together. I think we have to learn how to stop watching other people's pockets. I think we have to learn how to stop trying to tear down other people. I think we have to stop being entertained by watching people argue with one another over bullshit. I think we have to stop trying to help other people tear down other people for you don't even know why. It's just fun. I think we have to stop doing that. I think until we as a community, when I say we as a community, I don't only mean black people. I mean, we as a community, just in general, a hip-hop community, as soon as we need to start thinking on that type of algorithm where, you know what, that person is on some bullshit, I don't want to get involved in it. That person is just trying to disrupt that person's life, that other person's life. I'm not going to help them. You understand what I'm saying? So the guns, yeah, but taking the guns out isn't going to stop other problems and other situations. So taking the guns out can prevent the shooting deaths of people. Then what happens when the stabbings go up? Now we got to make sure that nobody can have cutlery. Then what happens when people just start getting beat to death in the street? Then you understand what I'm saying? So yeah, the guns are an issue that can't be disputed. But the real issue is the way that our brains are working and the things that people are choosing to be entertained by. Because if people chose better, or to be entertained by things that it doesn't even necessarily have to be positive, but less destructive, these problems wouldn't exist. What up, lovely E? I think that's more of an issue. I think that's something that we should be focusing on. I think we should be focusing on how are we gonna grow our collective emotional status. Like, we need to collectively grow our emotional status. I'm not even at this point talking about accountability, but okay. What up, Sheldon Smalls? I'm not even talking about accountability, but I don't know where you're trying to go with that, but okay, but that's not what I'm discussing. I'm talking about we need to improve our emotional collective health, our community emotional collective health. I want to get on to what TI and Waka Flaka said. What Waka Flaka and 50 Cent said specifically. But I think this is the best way that I could put it, because this is something that I'm personally have went through. So this is about the best way that I could put it. There's literally people. If you spend your time going on YouTube to go to channels to troll people, if you spend your time on YouTube going on channels to just help other people troll people, you're literally doing the devil's work. I don't care how righteous or sanctified you think you are. You are not. If you literally decide, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add more hostility to the world, you're doing the devil's work. If you decide, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to harass this person, harass that person, you're part of the problem. That's why I said getting rid of guns doesn't do anything. The problem isn't the guns. The problem is our collective mental health. And what are we going to do about that? Yes, that's terrorism. That's a fact, DSTN. That's literally terrorism. What goes on YouTube is literally terrorism. That's a fact. These people are evil. There is no... All I can do is say, you're going to have to answer to God sooner or later. No, even if you live your whole life happy as hell, you still got to answer to God sooner or later. So I guess that depends on what you think about God or not. That's why I keep trying to say that people that's doing this, I don't care how sanctified you pretend that you are. Voluntary gang stalking. Yes, Liberty Terror. I've been going through it for 3 years now. All because some dude tried to stalk me. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, tried to how do you call that word? I haven't had no coffee in so long. But the point being is, I want to get back to the whole Ti thing. He said something, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about our own mental health. You understand what I'm saying? And you are either a part of the problem or you're a part of the solution. That's just that, and that's just all. That's just that, and that's just all. You're part of the problem or you're part of the solution. If you go to one channel and you decide extortion, thank you, Ivan. Oh, you remember the thing. Shannon says, you know what the problem is? Everyone is not a leader. Just because you have followers don't make you a leader. People blindly follow false prophets, no matter if the message good or bad. That's a fact. And you want to know who all the false prophets hate? The false prophets are always going to hate people that's trying to actually uplift the people. Don't get that confused. The false prophets are always going to hate people that's trying to give out good information and good words. Always. 100% of the time. So pay attention to who hates who. The business that a lot of people are atheists now. We living amongst the godless. I wouldn't know. I'm not an atheist, but I would assume that they are some. Eric Mack says there's a good and bad in every walk. Just like this is a genius, there is an evil genius. One will work to find the cure. The other one will destroy the people. Also, if you're going to do any drops today, Cash App. If you're going to do any drops today, send it through the Cash App. Not the super chat. If you're going to do any drops today, send it through the Cash App, not the super chat. There's good and bad in every walk. Just like there is a genius, there is an evil genius. One will work. Well, let's get back to the whole Ti conversation. I don't want to get bogged down with this, but some people are just evil. I don't have no other way to say it. Some people are just evil, and if you siding with evil people and you're doing evil, then you are also complicit in evil actions. Then you are also partaking in evil activities. So some people are just evil. Some people are just evil. With all that being said, so Waka Flaka sounded off, right? What up, Angel? 333 says throwing love around like confetti. That person is sick for us. Will never change. Stay great, people. Spread love amongst each other. Love your neighbor. That's a whole fact. Everything that Angel 333 just said. So I just want to be clear on a couple of things real quick. T.I. comes out. T.I. says, keep all of that killing in your own cities, right? Let's get T.I.'s quote specifically. Hold on. As soon as I open up, look what I see. Don't make an MF stand on your neck. Don't speak on no Chicago's without putting the address on it. And I'm just going to show y'all this because she's fine. So Chicago has already responded back to T.I. We have a vote real quick. Who thinks T.I. should have said what he said? Who thinks T.I. should have kept his mouth shut and not gotten involved? You have a quick vote? Quick vote. I want to know what you guys think. Who think T.I. should have... Once again, I think if T.I. would have said anything at all, he should have said we need to stop all the violence. We lost a young man with a promising future who he was taking care of people. I think he should have went down that line. We need to stop all of the violence, not just the violence in Atlanta. Do y'all remember when Biggie and Pac got killed, right? Why does it seem like we losing a rapper or two every year? Every year we losing 2 or 3 rappers. Either it's due to drugs or it's due to violence. Every year. Well, one, they ran up on T.I. I mean, pardon me. They ran up on... Somebody ran up on somebody else in the parking lot. Period. That's what happened. We losing... I don't think... Not just the gang culture... Not just the gang culture, but the drug culture. The drug culture is dangerous out here. You really... Stacks on Racks got a good point. He said all Tip is concerned with is the violence, negativity affecting his... Use the right affecting? Affecting his property value in Atlanta. I could see that. Lately, it's been 4 or 5 for the past 4 years to overdose or violence. Young people, that's my point. Okay, so I want rappers to stop promoting drugs. That's just me. We're not going to get rappers to stop promoting violence. I get it. But I would like for rappers to stop promoting drugs. Dave Brown said it's easy to advocate violence when you know you ain't the one that's going to get killed. That's a fact. But also, violence is so easy for people to associate themselves with. Because so many people either live in violence, so many people have had violence happen to them, or have done violence. So violence is extremely easy for people to associate with, just in general. I think we need to get, first and foremost, these drugs out of the culture. All these perks. I get it, though. Because once we get the drugs out of the culture, the guns won't be so dangerous. I mix them up too. I'm not 100% clear on which one either, and I write damn near for a living most of my life. Wow. Angel333 said, I saw on the news yesterday two newborn babies boys found dead wrapped in brown paper in the Bronx. Heartbreaking. They was probably babies of rape. So I think we need to get the drugs out of the culture. I think the drugs is a bigger problem than the violence. Just keeping it a stat. Because I think the drugs help fuel a lot of the violence. Yeah, but Miss Rain, I'm not arguing that we need to get violence out. I'm saying what we should get out first, and I'm saying the drugs, because the drugs fuel a lot of this violence. That rapper that wrote "I'ma boost the murder rate like it's a badge of honor," that rapper that wrote that, do you think he was probably high on some drugs? I think that there's a good chance. The Dean One says, hell, Leroy Cohen said it best. Music sells off of drugs, violence, and if he has to put either in the hands of his artists to make money, he will continue to do so. Wow, he said that? I did not know he said that. Why can't we get drugs out, Shannon? John says, Jack, we have lost people out here with mental disabilities, or how do you treat that medication? Drug? No, obviously, stop, John, stop, John. You see what he's trying to do? We're not doing that. The business says, I'm against drugs, no doubt. If America got rid of drugs completely, the economy would take a huge dive. It's a lot of drugs that's around the use. Yeah, that's a fact. Shout out to James S with the $5 drop. He said, don't have Cash App, but the saloon seems closed. Gotta open that motherfucker. That motherfucker tables waiting. James S walks into the saloon. As always, so much smoke around him because all of the weed he smokes. So all you see is 2 feet under the snow cloud clopping along. He goes over. He sits in the BBN West section. Shout out to BBN West, the smoking section. Shannon says, hold on, let me get to what Shannon says. Shannon says, we can't get drugs out because we are more concerned with who's baby daddy, who's gay, if Kamala is black or not, who's sleeping with who told on who, a whole bunch of irrelevant shit. I 100% agree with you. 100% agree with you. Like how dude just came in here and we're talking about getting illegal drugs off the street, and he started talking about drugs that people need to take that have mental disabilities. Like, why would you say that? Why wouldn't you talk about the drugs that people need to take that are injured or hurt? You understand what I'm saying? People that's what you gotta pay attention to. People that try to throw stuff in the mix that don't have nothing, that they're not helpful, they're only hurt. You understand what I'm saying? They're not helpful. Christ is Black says, Shannon, we got to chop it up sometime. You have a lot of forward-thinking perspectives, my brother. Yeah, he's a very smart guy. Drugs beget violence. Shout out to DZ with the $5 drop. He said, for banana nut, please. DZ rolls up in the saloon. He goes, he gets a. I'm not all the way myself. He goes, he gets a coffee and a banana nut. A banana nut muffin, cuts it in two, toasted. I don't know if he wants jelly on the bitch. He goes and he sits over in the smoking section. So good. The manager cleared everything up. Hold on. Dave Ryan said it's a catch-22. People take drugs because of all the bad shit around them, not realizing the drugs are actually causing the problem. I 100% agree with you. But this is the biggest issue that I have just in general. The biggest problem that I have just in general, just so we could be clear, right? So we could be 100% transparent, is all of the drugs being pushed in the rap music. There's a lot of drug use being pushed in rap music. You got rappers that don't even get high. You got... I need to take this call. 1 second, y'all. My apologies. Well, they use drugs to break down our community. If you knew anything about how the Black Panthers were, how the Black Panthers, how they took care of the Black Panthers, or created got the Black Panthers up out of there, was they threw drugs in the community and they tricked people. You know what I'm saying? With crack or heroin and shit like that. So you got to understand, like, that's what's going on. The Bronx was extremely powerful in the 70s and the 80s with the revolution. You got to understand, hip hop was a revolution. How did they try to destroy hip hop? They threw crack in the mix. Just so y'all can understand what's going on. Like, they tried to destroy hip hop by throwing crack in the mix. Tiandre Willis Sr. says we have to be more accountable to our youth, for our youth. We can complain in politics, but we have to get involved. No matter how small or big the impact is. I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. But it's who are you trying to... Look, you can't tell me that you're trying to help our community and you on the internet all day arguing with niggas. You can't try to tell me that you're trying to help our community and you on the internet all day flagging niggas' videos. You can't. You understand what I'm saying? But this is what a big percentage of our community is doing. You can't tell me that you're trying to help our people and you on the internet all day creating disarray for somebody's life just because, you know, it's fun for you. You understand what I'm saying? Or because you don't like them personally. You understand what I'm saying? So the first thing people need to do is get their priorities straight. What's more important to you? Attacking that person on the internet or our people doing better? If our people doing better is more important to you, then you're gonna act differently. You're gonna carry yourself differently. You're not gonna be on the internet trying to, you know, mess with anybody else's ability to be able to support themselves or support their family. You're going to be on the internet speaking the good word. You're going to be on the internet trying to encourage others. You're going to be on the internet trying to, because this is literally a forum in which we have where we could speak about whatever we want to talk about. And when you have channels that want to talk about things that can uplift and build us up, there are going to be much stronger powers that's going to want to suppress those channels. And if they have reason to suppress those channels, like, well, those channels is arguing with those channels, that channel ain't about shit, but that channel's about something, we don't want that channel right there to be seen, so we're gonna side with the bullshit channel, because the bullshit channel, they pushing sex, violence, drugs, and money, and murder. That I didn't mean for that to mean that. I'm not talking about nobody's, I'm just saying, like, in general. That's how they keep us down. They keep us down by making sure that we stay arguing with one another. So now a whole argument happened that created a situation where we lost King Von, where King Von was taken away from his family and his loved ones. And instead of TI coming out and trying to be positive about it, he wasn't positive about it. And I'm fine with that. You don't always have to be positive. But you can't say just keep the killing somewhere else. It always has to be the killing has to stop. That's always what the message has to revolve around. The senseless killing has to stop. Crisis Black says, Frost, they destroy hip-hop. Well, they tried to destroy hip-hop by using coin pro tactics that they used to destroy the Panthers. They used fame and drugs. I don't know how to say that. Told me so as much when I used to write him when he was in the feds. I believe it. Dave Brown says, I know we got freedom of speech. That is not what freedom of speech is for. But the people who allow music with these negative the people that be on these I know we got freedom of speech, but the people that, what the hell? Where did I read that at? Did he delete it? Oh, there you go. I know we got freedom of speech, but the people who allow music with these negative messages in them should be held accountable. Yes, you should be held accountable for all negativity that you put out into the world, and you should be held accountable for all positivity that you put into the world. Don't let that go over your head. But that's not what freedom of speech is for. Freedom of speech is so that the government can't put us in jail for speaking out against it more than anything else. That's really what freedom of speech is for. You cannot go public with keep that murder over there. That's a fact. I'm going to tell you what happened. It was a private conversation that he probably had with somebody else. They made him believe that he was sounding smart, and he made that private conversation public, and it didn't work out the way that he thought it was. This is what happens when you have too many yes men. This is what happens when you have too many yes men. I'll say it again. There was a private conversation that he most likely had with someone, and they was busy over there yesing him up. And then right in that moment, he decided to go on his phone and send that shit out. And it wasn't received the way in which he believed it was gonna be. Because you cannot ever say, keep those murders over there. It's always senseless murders have to stop. Senseless violence has to stop. We have to stop the senseless murders and senseless violence. That's what it always is. Not, well, you know, the violence, but as long as it's over there, I don't care. No, we're not doing that. And one of the reasons why I believe that the manager story sounded a little weird to some people is, I'm pretty sure that they had guns. The Vaughn's people that got shot and killed, I wouldn't be surprised if they had guns on them. I wouldn't be surprised if they was literally in a shootout with the police, probably thinking that the police shot Vaughn to begin with. Those two dudes just got out of prison. Them dudes just got out of prison. But he couldn't admit that because there's no telling about what. That's why he shouldn't have went into the interview, because he couldn't admit that. He couldn't admit that. He couldn't go on an interview with DJ Academics and say, yeah, well, the two guys that got shot by the police, yeah, they did have guns. We didn't know what was happening, yada, yada, this and this and that. He couldn't admit that. Crisis Blacks is Frost. That's a fact. The manager isn't stupid. He wasn't about to incriminate the two brothers that got killed by police. He wasn't going to say all that part. No, you shouldn't have. You shouldn't have did the interview. He shouldn't have spoke on that. He should have sent out a tweet referring to that girl not knowing what the hell she's talking about and saying that nobody stole from Vaughn. And then after that, that's it. That's why you send out tweets. That's why you send out Instagram posts, story posts. That's why you do that. I was watching it and I was like, damn, I ain't asking him anything really. And then it clicked. Bang. That's why Ak isn't asking him. Ak is doing this on the arm for them niggas because of all of the shit. You know, Ak's come up was off of the War in Chirac series. That was his come up. He owed them guys a lot, and they owe him a lot. So they got a symbiotic relationship. Symbiotic relationship, whether they want to admit it or not. A lot of them dudes we wouldn't know about if not for academics. Susan Borch-Bedell said T.I. should have said, don't let something that won't make a difference in your life in 5 years make a difference in your child's life forever. That's a good thing to say. The Dean once is forced. I will say this, by T.I. making that statement only proves proof to what Young Chop stated about cats from his town putting hits out on each other as they move to Atlanta. Yeah, I can see that. I can 100% see that. Yeah, I don't think. Okay, so Ack is not stupid. All right, Ack gave dude the platform to speak on. What dude did with the platform was up to him. Ack gave dude the DAC platform to speak on. What dude did with the platform was up to him. Just so we can be clear. He gave dude the platform to speak on. Dude had the opportunity to do whatever he wanted on that platform. He did what he wanted to do. So. Just so we can be clear. His story did not sound yeah, that's a whole blood feud they got. And that's another reason why. Why would you beef with Chicago dudes? Them dudes beef for generations. Y'all heard what Dirk did, right? So Quando Rondo had a show coming up. Dirk bought every ticket. Quando Rondo has a show coming up. Dirk bought every ticket. Quando Rondo canceled the show. I'm going to say that again. Dirk had a show going up. Quando Rondo, what up, Jay? Quando Rondo had a show coming up. Dirk bought every ticket. Quando Rondo canceled the show. Think about that. Why would Dirk buy 6ix9ine tickets when 6ix9ine performs? And why would Dirk do that, Eric Mack? Why would Dirk care when 6ix9ine performs? If 6ix9ine, first of all, 6ix9ine is not going to be performing at Summer Jam. Not as everything currently stands, at least. I did not see the picture of the autopsy. Please do not send it to me. You think Dirk saved his life? I don't know. Why should Dirk beat the case because his co-D has got murdered? If I remember correctly, I believe they have Dirk. If I remember correctly, I believe they have Dirk on camera. And the guy that got shot is still alive. Oh, that was a joke. Good, Eric Mack. I didn't get it. But now that I get it. I have not been drinking coffee. I am deprived of caffeine, so y'all gonna have to bear with me for the next couple of days. Shout out to your boy Jimmy Belcher. Say what's up to Tina for me. 50 did that to Ja Rule. He bought all of the tickets in the front row. I was thinking about that. Do you get a refund if you cancel the show? Dirk should get a refund, right? He was on camera. As far as I can tell, Dirk was on camera. At least that's what I heard. I could be incorrect. No, I have purposely been not drinking coffee so I can get all of this caffeine out of my system. I drink a lot of coffee. So I want all of this caffeine out of my system. Yeah, I don't care to think they can't afford this guy. I think they just telling them you're not doing no more shows in this town, homie. One ticket. You're not doing no more shows in this town, homie. I personally don't know why anybody would want to beef with Chicago dudes. They do blood feuds, man. Them Chicago guys, they beef with you forever. Forever, ever. Like, it don't even make sense. Yeah, Rondo ain't outside. Wait, Rondo was saying he was outside. He ain't outside no more. I don't know if the venue canceled the show or if Rondo canceled the show. Either which way, the show got canceled. I usually drink about 2 cups of coffee a day, sometimes 3. It was just too much. So I'm gonna purge myself of all coffee for about a couple of days, 5, 6, 7 days. I'm gonna let all of them receptors that's waiting for that caffeine. I'm gonna let all of them shits be done, and then I will go back to drinking 1 cup of coffee a day. All of you people that thinks that if an individual starts a street fight, they should be murdered and killed, you people are just terrible people. You people are just absolutely terrible people that think that anybody that starts a street fight should be murdered and killed. You people are terrible people. I know you don't think you are, but you are. See, what happens is, I'll explain the whole coffee thing real quick. What happens is this: when you drink too much coffee, right? You never go back down to your regular you. When you drink coffee, then you are at your regular you. So what I need to do is I need to get all the caffeine out of my system, so then I'm regular. So then when I drink coffee, it actually has an effect on me rather than just bringing me back to my base. Yeah, and I'm drinking large cups of coffee, by the way. Eric Max says, Frost, imagine if there was undercovers outside of Urban Plaza in Troy. They probably was undercovers outside and inside. That was Irving Plaza. There's undercovers over there all the time. Some of those undercovers are freaking artists. Caffeine detox. Yeah, these people that keep coming in here talking about that because you get in the street fight that you should be murdered and killed. That's crazy. Shout out to you though. Whether the fight was a bad idea or, first of all, rarely ever fights a good idea, so we're not doing that. But whether the fight was a bad idea or a good idea, the dude that did the shooting wasn't even getting hit. He's still in the hospital apparently. He's not in jail. He was still in the hospital. He hasn't gotten to jail yet. That picture that everybody keeps seeing that looks like a mugshot, that's his mugshot from the last time he was arrested. As of yesterday, he was still in jail. Pardon me. As of yesterday, he was still in the hospital. I don't know if he's in jail yet. But he got shot. You think that they're going to not allow for him to get all of the medical treatment that he's going to need before he goes to actual jail? You think they're going to take him to jail knowing that he still needs medical treatment? Or are they going to make sure that he's fixed up? So that when he goes to jail, they don't have to keep transporting him back and forth. Okay, I know a ton of people that's been in fights and didn't shoot people and had guns on them. So I guess you're saying that. Look, I'm not even reading your comments no more. What up, Carithia? Carlethia? What up, AI? I'm not 100% sure all of this was over. I think what happened was there was something that happened with NBA YoungBoy and Quando Rondo allegedly dropped a disc bar also, like contributing to whatever the BS was. I'm not 100% sure. Thank you, DSTN. People just be talking. Now, I'm pretty sure he's never had media training. You got to understand, most of these rappers and everybody hate the media. Up until this shit right here started happening, most of these rappers avoid the media. They treat the media like shit. They hate the media. Just fucking hate the media. up until this situation that just happened, most rappers hate the media. They don't care if you're telling the truth. They don't care if you're lying. They don't care what. They just, they just hate you. But they need the media in order to be able to get their sound or whatever that is out. So it is what it is. Anyway, I'm going to let y'all go. I'm going to let y'all go. Call out these drops real quick. Shout out to James S with the $5 drop. Shout out to DZ with the $5 drop. That was it. Yo, look. Let's just do better. You can't say keep the violence in another city. It always has to be, we got to stop the violence. That's what it always has to be. The violence got to stop. It can't be keep the violence in another city. That's crazy. It's always the violence got to stop. Just so we can be clear. TI was just wrong for that. You got people out here mourning that young man. Like, people keep saying to me, yo, I don't know if it was a one-on-one fight or a jump-in or whatever it was. Shout out to Juro with the $2 drop. He said, out now, reminisce, but produce spot infinity. Look, I don't know if it was a jump-in. I don't know whatever the case was, right? I'm not going to pretend like I know one way or the other. But I will say this. You cannot say keep all the violence in another city and say that you out here for the youth. It's always the violence has to stop. It's always we have to find a better way. It's always we have to do something different. Not the violence is okay as long as it's not around me. That's not the energy that we're supposed to be putting out. If we're trying to, put out positive energy for other people. We're trying to send people in the right direction. That's not the energy we're supposed to put out. That's a fact. With that being said, look, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I don't have no comments as of right now for a different situation. But hopefully I'll be able to speak to y'all later. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one.